Johnny's got a secret that he wants to share. Cleaning up your comics with the utmost care. Press it real smooth, make the covers pop. Take that grade higher, straight to the top. At Johnny's Comic Stuff, where the magic starts. Bring your books to life, give them brighter hearts. Clean press, submit, watch the value rise. Turn that hidden gem into a certified prize. Dust and dirt gone like they weren't there. Wrinkles flattened out like they disappeared. From golden to modern, every age and line. Johnny's got the touch, making treasures shine. At Johnny's Comic Stuff, where the magic starts. Bring your books to life, give them brighter hearts. Clean press, submit, watch the value rise. Turn that hidden gem into a certified prize. CGC's in sight, now dreams come true. Slabs and grades, new life for you. Color pops, pages glow. Johnny knows comics, that's how it goes. At Johnny's Comic Stuff, where the magic starts. Bring your books to life, give them brighter hearts. Clean press, submit, watch the value rise. Turn that hidden gem into a certified prize.
Happy Father's Day, all you dads out there. So if you guys seen any of my videos this week, we got some cool stuff to clean. I would say it's been a little hectic in my home life lately, so I haven't been around as much. I did not release a video today, so probably through the next few weeks, probably be a Sunday stream. Probably won't do next Sunday because of Heroes Con, but then probably just one a week for the next few weeks. Got vacation coming up. We're going out of the country, so other than that, it should be the normal Wednesday videos and then some Sunday cleanings. What's up, Chonko? JSS, if you're out there, I want to tell you, this is the hardest book I've ever cleaned and pressed in my life. I'm 3 days in on book one. It is so hard to clean this book. It is a 4-page book. It is all cardstock. The cover's cardstock. The pages are cardstock. It is a tough press. It's great because I'm learning, and I'm not sure how exactly to do it. So it's a challenging one, to say the least. But I'm enjoying it, and like I said, I'm learning a lot from it. It's just really hard to press. I've hot shotted it. I've done rollerball. I've done the local iron. It's just a tough one, man. So they are taking a little longer than I had planned. So please be patient. Just because, like I said, I'm 3 days in on book one. I think by the end of today, it will probably be good, and then I'll start on this one. And then the Airboy will go after that. So probably maybe by the end of the week, I'll have the 3 of them shipped out, heading back to you. So I did want to bring it up. There's not a lot of cleaning that needs to be done on this, really at all. Just, man, it's so hard to press. Like this one, I can flatten that corner out. It's still going to have that color break, but I'm going to flatten it out. It just takes a lot. So So yeah, just as long as you're patient, we'll get them back to you. Next thing we're going to do is I'm going to just go through these X-Men 244. If you guys saw my last video, I got 9 copies of this. So I'm just going to go through and assess these, kind of tell you what I'm looking at when I look at these books. So right away, this one definitely needs some cleaning. You can see some dirt right around the corner box. The corner's folded over, so I press there. And I'm looking for anything that would keep this away from a 9.8, because if it's not a 9.8, I'm probably not going to submit it. Other than that, it's got some spine roll here. So I think this one's probably a 9.8 candidate. We will be pressing and submitting this. I'm not going to clean these. I just wanted to go through them, kind of show you what I do to assess them. Next one, same thing. Got some dirt here in the corner box, so we'll clean that up. There's a crease right here. It doesn't break color, but it looks like a stacking bin crease. That'll press out, no problem. I don't see any other major issues there. No, there's a nice big dent right here. I don't know, you can see it right on the fork of that tire, but that should press out. There's some fingerprints down here too. You probably can't, you might be able to see them. Yeah, right here. It looks like it's bleed through, but it's actually 2 big fingerprints right there. So those will clean out as well. Usually with cotton round will clean those up pretty good. Plus, if I hop it, that can help. You can kind of see this dent here a little better too on the end. You get right up in the camera there. You can see where it bulges out right in here. That's just a dent. Pretty simple. It's just time. That's all it really takes. And it's not time of me doing stuff. It's time sitting in the press. I think eventually I'm going to need to get 2 presses just because I'm pressing a lot. Again, really, really deep stacking bin. And if you're not familiar with what a stacking bin is, basically when you stack a bunch of books together and it sits like this, it creates a little dip right here on the edge. Again, those press out pretty simply. Not a big thing to press those out. So this corner's wrecked. You can see there, see how that corner's chipped up. So that's a 9.6. Probably won't submit this one. So, and not that it's not good to have in a 9.6. It's just I have 2 9.8s and a 9.6 newsstand. These are all directs. I don't need to press, or I don't need to get more 9.6s. So this here, this corner's a little rough. It's a little white. You can see I'm kind of bending it up. I'll have to check that and press it and check it and see how it comes out. That might come out. And again, another just stacking bin. The spines on these are beautiful. No spine stresses, no color breaks. It looks like all the corner boxes have some dirt in them though, which is odd because the corner boxes have dirt, but the blurbs do not. So again, that's probably a 9.8 candidate. Next one up. Dirty corner box. Got some rollover here. Nothing too bad. Same here. You can see it rolls over in this corner. What kind of gloves do I use? I use Kirkland, and I'm a size large. These are the ones that I got most recently. Just nitro gloves. Any nitro gloves are good. I like the ones that fit really snug too when I use gloves. They're like stretchy. There's one that's they fit loosely. I don't like the ones that fit loosely. I like nice tight fit. What's up, Eric? So again, we got some creasing in the corner here. Looks like the interior pages are a little chewed on the bottom, maybe a ding. So probably a 9.6 candidate here. So probably won't submit that one. How many issues of X-Men 244 do you have, Eric? Because I now have 12, but I will not have 12 for long because these will get moved. So again, dirty corner box. It's crazy because they're dirty in the exact same spot on every one. It's right here next to the number. I doubt it's coming across very well, but everyone's dirty. This cover actually looks really good. I don't really see anything other than the dirt. Corners are nice and crisp. This is the most common spot for color breaking stress on this book too, because it's got the black back. There's some like dents in here too. Those will all press out. So again, I think this is probably a 9.8 candidate. So it'll go in my 9.8 pile. This is the dirtiest corner box we've seen. So I don't know if you can see that dirt on the 244, just to the side of it there. There's some scuffing down here on the black. That's never good because you can't get out scuffing. Looks like there's a little bit of corner crunch here too in the bottom of the spine. And then some white along the bottom. So this is probably like a 9.4. So this definitely won't get submitted. Put that in my do not submit pile. And then the last one of the X-Men 244s. So again, dirty corner box. Corners are good. I don't see anything crazy on the front of there. And again, you just got those dense same spots in the back. So this is also probably a 9A candidate. So it looks like 6 of the 9 are 9A candidates. So that's good. All right, let's get into what y'all came to watch. Airboy. One of that certain first appearance character. Are we talking about Gambit? You don't have a 266? All right, so I'm excited to clean this one. It's just like it's an awesome book. Golden Age is by far my favorite books to clean. If you didn't hear earlier when you guys popped on, if you're a parent, father, happy Father's Day. So, you know, I talked about this when I opened it the other day. There's a tear right here. Obviously, I can't do anything about a tear. The corner's got a big crunch, and then the back of it has a part of. You can see right there. There's a big piece missing in the corner. I think this is probably in the 3.5-4.0 range potential. But it's not a common book. If you look at the census, there aren't many on the census. A lot of this is going to press out a lot of the stuff you see. I think I can mitigate this. You can see this shadow, this dust shadow here. I think a lot of that can get mitigated with a hop. So we'll definitely be hopping it. And I said it before too. Hillman books are notorious for brittle pages, and these aren't brittle, so that's good. Thanks, GSS. So that they're not brittle makes it a little easier to work on. They're not great though, so I do need to be careful and use a lot of caution when I'm working on this. You know, just because I don't want to tear it. You can't use very much pressure when you get pages that are close to brittle, and these are close to brittle. You really need to be super careful, extra careful with it. Because you don't want to make it worse. And it's so easy with Golden Age books when they start to get brittle to tear the pages. So we're just going to light cotton around over it. There's nothing, like I've said this many times. There's nothing like the feel of doing this on a Golden Age book. It just feels so different than any other book. Look at that. Whoo! Boy, that thing's dirty. Dirty. Look, I barely touched it. Look at all that dirt. Oh my gosh. JSS, did you store this in your chimney? That's one of the worst I've ever seen. Holy crap. I'm gonna get a new cotton round. I just did like maybe 10% at a light rub. So seeing that, we're definitely gonna get a cleaner, nicer book when we're done here, because that is just insane, and it came off so easily. That means it's all just lightly on the surface, so we should have really good results. Let's take a look. All right, not as bad the second time around. So this side right here is basically done. So we're probably going to give this 2 or 3 cotton round rubs because, like I said, I've never seen that much dirt and color come off on. I'm putting no pressure on this. Maybe he stored it in the chimney, JSS, because that's that was like soot. Yeah, that's a lot of dirt, man. Which is good because dirt's the easiest thing in the world to get off these books. Your stains are hard. The ink, deep pencil marks, those are all hard. Dirt's easy. So I doubt you could tell it on the screen too, but it already looks so much better in front of me than when I started. Look at that, man. That's holy shit. That's just nuts. Oh, man, I'm about to make you buy me some more cotton rounds. Good Lord. I'm just kidding. It's like $1 for 100 of them. So I wish I could. I wish I could explain how much or show you like a way that I could show you how much pressure I'm using because it's nothing, like nothing pressure. I'm sure a little bit of this, not much, but a little bit of it's probably color from the ink too, just because of the age. But you wouldn't get that much color off. I mean, that'd be like erasing the dude. I'm almost nervous to see the back because usually the backs are worse than the front. Um, so we'll flip it over. Yeah, like I said, there's a few things on this that'll really keep it from going up in grade. But I mean, it's going to present amazing once it's done, I think, compared to what it is right now. Let's just do one up and see what it looks like. Okay, that's not bad. There is some gunk or something right here. I don't know if you can see that. It's like it might even be like glue. You can kind of see right underneath that, whatever that gear thing is, right above this guy's head. There's some yellow something on there. We'll take a look at that. I'm not gonna work too hard on that because I don't want it to pull up the paper. But if it comes off, if it looks like it'll come off easy, then I will try and get it off. Oh, it's good. It's coming off with this. You can see there's little crystallized whatever it is. So you don't like Jubilee, huh? I'm not a big fan of Jubilee either, Eric. Probably one of my least favorite X-Men. Jubilation Lee. I mean, it's just a bad name, bad character. Yeah, that's a good point, Chanko. It could definitely be from a smoker's house sitting out of a bag. But I'd say more probably like fireplace because it's like soot, and I think the smoker would make it yellow. I think the black is probably like you said, like a fireplace or a pot stove or something like that. So actually, the back's not nearly as bad as the front. You can feel with the cotton round, there's lots of little like grit and stuff on here. And I can actually feel it breaking loose because I'll rub over a spot and feel it and rub a few times and then I don't feel it anymore. So there is some kind of very light residue of some sort on the back of here that's coming off. Just little spots. And I think so that looks a lot better where that yellow stuff was. I think it'll actually come off more with a hop. It'll penetrate the paper and like pull it out some. Let's go ahead and switch to a new one. Yeah, I don't like Dazzler either, Eric. I just think it's just a weird character. I get it. It was it was the 70s, but yeah, I don't know. Not really my style either. Kitty Pryde was cool. I can't wait to see this thing after I hop at JSS. I mean, that's just going to look awesome. I'm not going to send you update pictures either. I'm just going to send you afters. Yeah, you can see there's almost like some black. I don't know what that is right on the corner. Yeah, that's hard to get that right there because it's right on the edge and you don't want to tear the paper. So I don't know if you can tell, but I'm taking this, I'm pushing down and away, and picking up, down and away, picking up, down. You don't want to go back because you could easily catch that corner and tear it. But it's hard to probably tell what I'm doing, but it's always away from the edge. See if we can't unfold that a little bit too. Gotta take my glasses off, man. This is like surgery. So I don't want to take a chance of tearing it off, but I think I can unfold it a little bit. I don't know what this is. I think this is like a for like clay modeling tool. I picked it up at like Hobby Lobby, but it's really good for like picking off little pieces that are stuck to it. But like this stuff too, because I can't get my finger underneath that or my fingernail. But yeah, so we got it unrolled, and then we'll press that out. We'll get some steam on there and press that out when we put it in the press, and it should lay out a little flatter. It's not going to be great, but it'll be a little better. So we'll flip back over to the front. I'm going to get my handy dandy Rich eraser because I like this is the one Rich sent me, and I like these actually better than the ones I was using. And we're just gonna just go lightly. You can see a lot of dirt's coming up already. I appreciate you letting me do this, JSS. I appreciate the business. I've definitely had a lot more people reaching out about wanting to have stuff cleaned. My intention was never to do this regularly for other people, but I definitely don't mind. You know, I do. It's not free, but I don't mind doing it for a few select people. So if you do have anything you're interested in, feel free to hit me up on Instagram. I'll let you know kind of what my time's like, how busy I am, and if I'd be interested in working on them. I'm cheaper than South Beach, and I don't think he does hop. So I think that's a lot of people that reach out to me more are interested in the hop stuff because there's not a lot of people that do that, and the prices they charge are ridiculous. I mean, I've seen some places like the guys who kind of got this started, like Captain Mike and stuff. It's like $120 to hop a book, and I just don't understand it. I mean, there's a lot more risk because you're exposing the book to things, but it's not that much risk, you know. I mean, if you're careful and you don't put like saturated paper on these books, you're not going to hurt them. But I don't know. Maybe it's just because it is a little more time consuming. It's multiple steps. It's very time specific. So you start it, you have to go in for, you know, you let it do one step for an hour. You have to let it rest for an hour, then go do a second step for an hour. So maybe that's why. But you know, I don't think it's that big a deal. I think the prices are a little bit insane. But like I said, I think I'm pretty reasonable. I need to get more presses and more time. You know, I need like 3 of me. So this is getting a lot of the dirt off, but it's going to be a lot better once it gets hopped, just because a lot of the dirt is, you can tell it's just down into the paper. And until I get it hopped, it'll pull a lot of that dirt out. So you guys getting excited about Heroes Con? Those of you that are going. Got all your books set up, everything you want to get signed and who you want to get signed from. Full itinerary of the schedule. I know Dope's been talking about pocket bacon. I know that sounds exciting, some pocket bacon. All right, let's give it a little absorbing and see what. Yeah, it's weird. I bet you guys can't tell on here, but I mean, it's crazy because I can like see it slowly changing. It's subtle, but you can definitely see it. And I doubt that translate as it might translate a little bit on the camera, but I don't think it translates as well as it does here in front of me. Are you going to JSS? There's a little piece of little speck of something embedded in the paper. You might be able to see it. It's right. Oh, there's a little dog here. Little tiny black speck right there. I don't think you can see it. I'm trying to get that off. Oh, look at that. One little cotton round, it's gone. So there's a lot of like dirt in the Airboy logo. You can see there's a black line here. I think a lot of that will clean up with the hop. Now I'm not going JSS. I'm actually going to the Bahamas the week after the 4th of July. So we already kind of had that planned with the family. I'm probably try and go next year, but yeah, I'm not going to make it. Can't take all that time off work together at the same time, but I'm looking forward to the family trip. My kids have never, well, my oldest has seen the ocean, but she was like 2. My little one's never seen the ocean. They've never flown before, so I think it'll be exciting. I don't know what they're going to eat because all they eat is chicken nuggets and French fries, and it has to be very specific chicken nuggets and French fries. Yeah, it's a cruise, so I've never been on a cruise. We're going to go to the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, and the Dominican Republic. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been on like a vacation in a while. Usually, my wife and kids go, and I stay home and babysit the pets and clean the house. That's usually my vacation. But this year, they wanted me to go. I mean, they always want me to go, but it's hard. We have 6 pets. We got 3 dogs and 3 cats, and it's just hard to get them covered. We did this year, so I'm going to get to go see my kids enjoy their vacation. If you can see my skin, though, me and the sun are not friends. So I got to take that SPF 6000 and really like stay in the shade. So it should be fun, though. My little one's excited because she found out on the cruise ship they have a 24-hour ice cream bar. So I think she just might eat ice cream every day. That might be her what she does the whole time, which is fine. It's vacation. I'm a good dad. It's like, hey, it's vacation. You can eat ice cream every day because that's what vacation is. I don't know if mom agrees, but, dad's okay with it. And they always ask dad anyway, so. Yeah, I think the next con I'm going to, I'll probably go to Fan Expo here, the next bigger con, Fan Expo here in Chicago. That's always I always enjoy that one. They have a ton of celebrities. I'm not big in the celebrity thing, but they have a ton of celebrities at Fan Expo. You see I got the big ass board here. I like the bigger board when I get these bigger books. So this is either a magazine or a Time Life board. It gives me just a lot more support on the edge, so I can work a little harder on the edge and not have to worry about damaging the book. Yeah, Eric, we'll have to meet up at Fan Expo. I'll definitely go. My buddy always has been setting up the last couple of years there, so I usually hang out a lot with him. I usually end up going all 3 days, and I usually actually get a dealer badge too, so I get a little bit extra perks with it. I don't know if he's going to set up this year. It's been a bad year for vendors, it sounds like, so he may pass. It's a little pricey to set up there. I think it's like $1,500 for a booth. But I don't know if he does. I'll have a vendor badge. If not, I'll still definitely go. Just probably not all 3 days. So just like on the edges, you got to be real careful. You can see this You can see this tear out where it's torn out here. You got to be real careful around that. So it's really good to just kind of push away. And when you have an edge like this, especially on old paper, there is a chance when you do that, a little piece will break off. You know, you might get a little tiny chip off of that corner. Don't stress about that because that's already a huge CGC ding. So if you take off a little 16th inch piece with it, it's not going to change the grade. Try not to, obviously, but don't lose your mind if you do, because it's not going to have, it's going to have almost no impact on the grade. But you don't want to make it worse. You know, you don't want to tear it up. But just be careful when you're working on that. I'll do it just like you do on the edges and work away. JSS, did you get this from like a shop or online or an auction? Or where did you pick this up at? You don't have to give me your full source, just like what kind of purchase. How, like, was it a trade? Did you know a guy that knows a guy? Little deal under the bridge. Yeah, I was surprised when you sent this to me, and I looked, and there's like, I mean, I think there's only like a handful of them on the census, so there's not a lot of these out there. And it is an issue 1. I think it's like volume 7, but I'm pretty sure it's an issue 1. So usually you know, there would be a lot more on the census if they're out there. Yeah, agreed, Eric. I totally agree. That place is so easy to maneuver. I don't mind McCormick just because every year for C2E2, I usually just get a hotel and stay right there at the convention center. I just use like I usually get it through my company and use my, like, I don't know, my rewards points. So it usually only costs me, you know, like a couple $100 for like all weekend. Plus, it's cool. I like the after hours stuff. I always go to the charity auction. I like supporting that. You know, I always go to that, and it's like, it starts at like 8 and it goes till like 11 or 12, and then they usually do like cosplay karaoke, which is pretty fun. So I like the after hours stuff at C2E2 as much as I like the convention. So I usually just stay right downtown, but it is a pain in the ass. Oh, this a whatnot grab, huh? Wow. That's pretty awesome, JSS. I have watched a few of those whatnots where it's like, it's not comic books, and they've had some like comic book adjacent stuff, I guess is the best way to say it. Like, you know, like the old toys from the like the Superpowers toys, or the old Marvel Secret Wars toys. And I don't think they know what they have, but it looks like every time I've seen them, the people bidding knew what they had. Looks like there's a little bit of, you can see this rippling. That's usually just from moisture. That'll press out really good too. All those little ripples there. Looks like it just got wet once upon a time and dried up. It actually helps because when a book gets wet, it's less likely to become brittle. It gets wavy, but you can work that wavy out. But it's got all that extra moisture in there, so it's not as common to get brittle. There are some spots on here, though, like here. This was probably like some rust transfer. It's not rust from the book itself. It came from something else, but the hop will neutralize that rust. Same with mold. If you get mold in a book and you hop it, it will neutralize a lot of that, so it won't continue to grow and expand in the book. That peroxide kind of kills it off. And keep in mind, when I say peroxide for hopping, it's not like even the stuff you buy at the store. It's not 100% peroxide. That would burn through your skin. It's a hydrogen peroxide that's like, I think it's like 3%. And I'm guessing the other 97% is just water. So it's very, very diluted peroxide. And again, I've said this before, they use that in the making of paper. So you're not putting anything in the paper that's not supposed to be there. And when you heat it up, peroxide evaporates. So it's not even left in the book residually. It evaporates out. And that's kind of how the chemistry of it works. The moist piece of paper on here has the peroxide. You lay it on top here. The peroxide kind of weaves in between both of them. And then it moves towards the heat as it evaporates, and the heat is on the outside. So it pulls all the dirt and stuff up into the white piece of paper that's on top of this. And then all the peroxide evaporates out. All the dirt and grime stays on the white paper. So that's kind of how the process works, to my understanding. I am not a chemist, so I could be completely wrong. But the research I've done and what I've read, that's kind of what's happening. Is you're evaporating everything up into the heat, which is on the top, which is where the hop paper is, and that's what pulls all the dirt out of the book. If you did it upside down and the heat was up, you would actually put more dirt into this, but that wouldn't really work because you can't get heat on it from the bottom. So this moisture mark here, you can see that very clearly, that tide line, that will definitely go away with a hop. I've said this too in the past, like if you're going to get into hop, start off with books that are very low value. Buy the guide. There's a link below. You don't have to buy it through my link, but buy the guide. Don't go destroying a bunch of comic books off of what I said. Read it up on it, study on it. Make sure you know what you're doing and you practice it, 10,000 hours to become expert at it. I wouldn't say I'm expert, but I'm a good way there. I've put in a lot of hours. I've done a lot of books. COVID was a lot of time at home, and I had nothing else to do but play with my comic books. And I spent a lot of time learning, reading, researching. I wasn't buying too much during COVID. Good Lord, those prices got nuts. I don't think I bought hardly anything during COVID. I didn't think they would come back down. I just thought everything got out. I don't be able to afford a comic book ever again unless it was brand new. Luckily, everything's come back down and pretty much back where it was pre-COVID. A few books still up there. Some are a little lower than before, but yeah, this is cleaned up nice, JSS. I think you're going to be happy with this once it's done. It definitely, I'm definitely interested to see what the hop looks like. It may get a 2-hop treatment. I'm going to have to determine that once I kind of do the first one and see how it looks. But it's not going to hurt it to do 2 hops on it for sure. I'm hoping this yellow gunk that's on here, I hope you can see it. It's right here. I'm hoping that comes off with the see, you get the shine right on it. Yeah, hopefully it'll come off even better. All the thick, chunky stuff came off. I'm hoping the rest of it comes off in the hop. I mean, we're basically done with the cleaning part of this. So what I'm going to do next on this book, just so one for transparency with JSS and just so you guys kind of know what my process is. This book's got a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of issues here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give this like a quick press. So I'm going to put it in the press with nothing but normal pressing techniques for about 2 or 3 hours, just to flatten everything out. I want to flatten it all out before I do any hopping, because if you have too much dips and dimples, the hop won't work as well and it'll be spotty. So I'm going to do like a quick press and not like a 15-minute quick press. I'll probably let it sit in there for about 4 hours. And then when I pull it out, I'll go through and clean it again. I'll make sure that nothing new is apparent from the repress or from the pressing. And then once I do that and I get the second dry clean on, I'll go through and I'll do the hop, and I'll do one side at a time. I almost always do the front first. And then I'll do the back, and then I'll assess it again. Don't ever just do it and like, all right, I did it, I'm done. Check it out. Maybe you missed something. Maybe there's something. Maybe I missed a big dirt spot somewhere that I can clean out. Once it's pressed, you can almost always find a few things to work on after the first press. So I would always say assess your books well after a press. Make sure you're not missing anything. Man, that's a beaut. Like, that's a really, really nice book. It's a shame it's got that tear, because they'll hit you hard on that tear. But I'll try and get it laying as best I can too, so that it will it will, like, the dark will be up and any of the white will try and be down. You got to kind of weave it together, but I'll do that when I press it, just to kind of, so you won't see it as case. It'll still be there, obviously, and they'll still identify it, and they may make it bad when they open it and it comes apart. But I'll do the best I can to get that nice and clean overlapped. I'll probably, after I press it too, I'll probably work on the spine a little bit more with the dirt, but I want it nice and round and squared off as best it can be before I do that. But yeah, I think for the basic dry cleaning part, that's mostly done. A lot of dimples and ripples and stuff in here, man. They're all going to be gone. Like, without a question, these will all be gone when it's done. It's going to look awesome. So it doesn't have much spine roll too, which is really common in Golden Age books. So the spine's actually nice and evened up with the pages. You don't have a lot of underhang and overhang. So we're going to take this one and put it into to be pressed pile. Yeah, I didn't really sell much during COVID, Chonko. I thought about it too, and just because I was bored, there was nothing to do. You couldn't even go out to dinner. Like, it was hard even to order dinner some nights because they didn't have drivers, and I was like, maybe I could sell comic books. So the last one I'm going to work on, we've talked about this one a few weeks ago. I'm going to crack this book out. It's got a bunch of non-color breaking spine ticks that I'm going to work on pressing out. So I just want to go through the crack out process again. Again, this is an old case, so these are usually pretty easy to pop. You can see I can get a nice spread just with my fingers without using any tools at all. So I'll get that popped open a little bit and then just get in the corner with a flathead. These things are the easiest things in the world to open. So same thing we'll do down here. Just put a flathead in there, turn it. Yeah, I think it would be easy to cheat on these books for sure. So yeah, that's it, man. It's that simple. These old ones are super good. Yeah, no problem, JSS. This is actually the worst part. Sometimes these inner wells are like wedged in here and they're hard to get out, but usually not too bad. All right. So we're free there. These are a little tough because they actually, you can see that seam. It seams on top of that. I like to send all these back. If you take books out, I can't stress that enough. Make sure you send this back to CGC so they can take it off the registry. You don't want books on the registry that aren't encased anymore. It just throws off the numbers. And then we'll go through. We've talked about this before too. This is a brand new blade. I just changed this before we started recording. These books have a lot more space in them, so they're a little bit easier to open up, the older ones. So we're just going to stay just above this, as close to the seam as you can, as far away from the book as you can. And just press and pull. Be super careful. Take your time. You do not want to take a chunk off the top of this book. That would be bad. Because you can't fix that. You can't fix a chunk top. So we've already got that part open. We're going to take it out from the back. So we'll tap it down again. Just make sure it gets as far this way as it can. Give me as much room as I got. I mean, that's a huge amount. On a new book, you only have about this much space. It's super tight. But on these older ones, that's a good 1/2 inch. I mean, with a 1/2 inch, even if you made a mistake, you're probably not going to get to the book. But it cuts like butter, too, with a brand new knife. Boom. She's ready to come out. There we go. Free at last. So this is the first appearance of Dick Grayson becoming Nightwing, so it is kind of a key book. It's got a little dirt because it was kind of pressed, but you can see all these little spine ticks. It's hard because I can see it easily here, but I got to get it so where the camera can show them. There we go. See all those spine ticks right there, all the dimples and dips? Those will all press out. Not a problem at all. That's like an easy press. I think it's a 9/8 candidate. The only thing that might get it is there's a tiny tear at the bottom of this staple, but I would have recased it anyways. Yeah, Eric, I mean, I've done this. I probably broke 300 books out of cases now. Like with a brand new knife blade, man, you keep a steady hand. It's almost impossible. It's definitely not a bad idea to use a ruler, like a metal edge ruler. The problem is if you put a ruler down, you can't see the book, and I want to see the book. I want to know how far away I am at all times. So I feel a little better just freehand cutting it. But yeah, I mean, definitely don't be afraid to use a ruler or some kind of straight edge. Look at that. You guys remember those? Were those not the coolest toys? I'm not a DC fan, but those were cool. And it was from Kenner, and Kenner's from my hometown. They were Cincinnati, Ohio. Just really cool. I just always liked those. Those were the greatest toys. It's the one toy I want to get again. That and the old Toy Biz first run of the X-Men toys. Not a big toy person, but those are the ones I want. So yeah, just some. It's nice on this. This black cover usually has a bunch of color breaks to it. Back's not too dirty, but could be cleaned up a little bit. Always go through these books too when you open a book that was cased, because sometimes they have those acid-free pages in them. There, you see it? There it was. You don't want to press it with this in there, because it'll actually make it's smaller than a page. This absorbs acid to keep the book from deteriorating. If you keep it in there, you can see it's smaller. It'll actually get a little imprint. So always make sure you, especially old ones, because I think they put these in every book when they first started doing it. And then they stopped when it got I don't know, into the 2010s probably. They only did it on older books, Golden Age stuff, Silver Age stuff like that. So just make sure you take that out. This book was graded, I think, in 2011, so it's been in there for a while. But yeah, just flip through the pages, make sure they didn't miss anything. You could go through and see like this could be filled out, and they didn't catch it when they graded it. They would most likely catch it the second time around. So I just always flip through and make sure there's no surprises. I've opened these up before. I actually found a smashed bug in one time. I don't know if it was like a mosquito or something that had gotten smashed. I was able to remove it. But had I not, they would have probably given me a ding for a dead bug inside my book. I honestly don't know. Guys, remember Kmart? Look at that. Kmart, the saving place. Yeah, a drafting triangle would actually be really good, Eric. That's probably a good idea. And yeah, there's no wrong way to do it. If I slipped and cut into it, that's on me. I definitely think if you had something like that, it's not a bad thing at all if you can see the book. The biggest thing and the most important thing when you do that is definitely a brand new blade. I bought 100-pack of those blades off Amazon. I think I paid like $7 for it. I have no issues changing it every single time. Look at that, more superpower toys. So these pages are like super white, super vibrant. I mean, we all remember this from our childhood, but this is a 40-year-old book. It's crazy to think that this book's 40 years old. I remember when this book was like 4 years old, and it was like, oh man, I want to get that, but it's $8. I can't afford $8. Oh, the Kmart ad, the Warlords. Yeah, they had, I don't know, man. I feel like toys were cooler when we were kids than they are now. They didn't talk for you. You had to actually, make the sounds and be creative. Now you push a button and it tells a story. And the only thing that talked when I was a kid was Teddy Ruxpin. And it was like, it talked badly. It wasn't good talk. So I'm going to do a little cleaning on this. But again, like I said, there's not a whole lot of cleaning that needs to be done. It's not that dirty. It more just needs to be pressed. So we'll get the corner box or the logo box here. It's actually really the only spot that's dirty is right here. The Titans logo is actually really clean. Usually you get a lot of dirt in that white there, but it's like vibrant white. There's a tiny bit in the DC logo, but you know, I wouldn't put a whole lot of energy on something like this because they're not going to ding you that much for this type of area. If they ding you at all, and it's so small, you got a high chance of getting into the logo and on the blue. So I think we're pretty good with this one, guys. I think this is also ready for a press, but it is in line after JSS books. So I think that's going to be it for today, guys. I got an F1 race on right now. I'm not watching to hang out with you guys. I got some yard work to do. Like I said, next couple weeks, I probably won't be on next Friday or next Sunday just because a lot of people will be at Heroes Con or on their way back from Heroes Con. And then I'll be going on vacation first week of July. So I'll be out both those 2 weekends, the weekend after the 4th of July and the following weekend. Excuse me. So I missed the show last night, Chonka. I was going to pop in, but I just got tied up. We're putting together a pool for my kids, and it's just been exhausting. So I haven't been around, but I'm not ignoring everyone. It's been real busy lately. But I'm still into comic books. I still like all you very much. Actually, I won't on that, Eric. I'll just go straight into the press with that to get those ticks out. A tack iron. I don't like using a tack iron on the spine. You know, I like just using the press. I mean, I use the new technique, which is a 3 press process. It's a 15-minute press, a 4-hour press, and then an overnight press. And you change the different thicknesses of paper in underneath the cover, and it seems to work beautifully. Like it's been so much better. I would use that if there's like a big line that goes in or a big dent. That's really the only time I would use the tack iron. And then, like I said, on this horrible book that JSS gave me to press, this book is like tack iron heavy, just because it's cardstock and it's four pages of cardstock. I've never seen a book that had cardstock pages. But these are all cardstock pages. Cool book, though. Really is a cool book. Yeah, and I just like the overall, like it gets out. There's a couple little like bends. It takes all those bends out as well when you use the press. So, and honestly, a lot of times with a tack iron, you got to be careful. I don't know if you've pressed before, but I find with the tack iron, it's real easy to make a new ding or a new wrinkle. With the tack iron, if you're not really careful or if you use too much heat, I just like the consistency of the press. But yeah, if it was just one little ding, I would probably just and be done with it. But there's a whole bunch all the way up and down the spine. So yeah, you guys enjoy the rest of your Father's Day. I hope it's good. I hope you have a good time. If you're a father, I hope your kids are hanging out and rubbing your feet and making you dinner and all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys. Hopefully I'll have a video this Wednesday. Like I said, it's a little crazy. I don't know. I'm not a pro. I'm like semi-pro. I'm like Will Ferrell. I'm semi-pro. And we'll catch you guys next time. Like I said, have a great day, and keep an eye out. Content will be coming a little bit sporadic the next few weeks, but I am still here. Still love comic books. Still buying every day. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.